Thank you for my shirt. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Kids Club.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo. Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason, though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. You always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
My bite's not close to my bark, buddy. And slid down so we can see a red suitcase right here for law enforcement if they're watching and you guys would like to come back here. Of her being out here. So this is what we're doing today. We will see you guys back here real soon.
Say this right here, baby, because some of y'all be acting like y'all don't be seeing it. But, baby, playing victim in a situation that you created, oh, yeah, baby, that's narcissistic as hell to me. Hello, somebody. How you gonna create the storm, then get mad when it rain? How you hurt somebody and then get mad that they hurt? How you damage somebody, go outside your way to destroy a person and then get mad when they no longer want to deal with you? Baby, playing a victim in a situation that you created, oh, baby, that's That's narcissistic as hell to me. I'm sorry, but it is.
Hey guys, Bullhorn Betty. So we're on the path of taking our power back, right? So we're going to take our power back. So I sent a cease and desist letter to a particular creator about her bullying. We found out she was a teacher. And so basically I told her, because she's on multiple recordings that we've clipped, talking about how she's recorded me while she's on the school's dime. So this is what I'm going to do. I thought she was going to quit talking about me, but we realize now that she says she can never lie, but she did lie. And so after she received the cease and desist letter, she's like, oh shit, time for damage control. Now she's calling cops, trying to say I'm the bad guy, which I've never made a video about her. I just threatened her that I would sue her if she did not stop targeting me and harassing me. So now we're fast forward. She's obviously cleansed her entire channel because of her bad behavior. And now she's got her power back. Okay, well here, this is me taking my power back. Every time you say my name on your channel, I'm going to clip it. Every time you say horrible things about me on your channel, I'm going to clip it. I'm going to send those clips to your superintendent, to your school board, to the State Department of Education, and to our federal Department of Education. Every single time I hear my name out of your mouth, I'm going to clip it. And when your bosses get sick and tired of hearing you say my name, maybe something will get done. But now you just poke the bear. Have a good day.
Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Here we go. I'm back. I'm live. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Show. No, I'm just joking. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Saturday this morning. As you guys know, before we're going to get into this, this drama, I'm just going to let the people in the back know. If you guys haven't gotten a clue yet, this drama is going to be coming to an end soon. Okay? You guys can kick and scream all you want, but I owe nobody any duty of anonymity. First and foremost, I could give two fucks about a terms of service. If you want to knock on my door, then you know what you're expecting when you knock on that door. And I want to make sure that that is relevant and prevalent throughout YouTube, okay? Because this idea that I got to put up with this day in and day out and I don't have any ability to do anything about it, you are absolutely wrong. I'm doing everything I can about it. See, you guys had 2 years of me just letting you wear yourselves out, and you still wouldn't leave me alone. Well, now you guys have to deal with me. Me. I don't need a crew of 100 people in chat rooms behind the scenes coordinating, trying to take my channel out. You guys get just me. Me. All of you out there that are attacking little old me, one person. You get to deal with me now. Okay? Because this idea that I'm going to put up with this for another 2 years, you've done lost your damn mind. Okay? They're holding on to a one count on somebody's complaint, one thing. If they are so happy about that one thing, can you imagine what I'm going to do with all the things that that woman has said about me 14 months prior to these alleged inaccurate information? So, you know, like their common sense is like, oh, we got her on this one count. Well, you watched what she did for 14 months before that. And if that one count is really her make or break of her case, how do you think my case is looking? Just to throw that out there. Just a little, you know, maybe your brain's not, maybe you're still stuck in hate, but maybe we just need to gyrate that brain a little bit so your common sense starts coming back to you. I don't owe anybody a duty to keep my mouth shut here. I owe nobody a duty for anonymity, and I know I owe nobody a duty to keep their job. I owe nobody that duty. This little thing that you guys think is this no. You knock on my door. I don't talk to nobody. I don't go out of my way to hurt anybody. I cover true crime cases, and I'm going to do it as I damn well please, and people are just going to have to get used to it. But I will tell you, this is coming to an end, folks. So you guys can claw, crack, scratch, and scream, but the people that did me damage are going to have to pay for that. They're going to. And while they're doing all the sneaky stuff still behind these back chat rooms, they do know that the internet is forever. And all this stuff that they're doing and hiding and trying to delete and all this stuff, there's records of that. And I'm going to get those records. But no, this idea that that some teacher can target me and harass me and I have some duty to keep her job. No, you violated just about every contract. Like, you're not allowed to do this shit, and you're doing it. And you say you have a First Amendment privilege to violate your contract with that state. You're making that state look bad. You're making that school board look bad. And what happens when the news gets a hold of the fact that a teacher at a school is bullying a content creator on YouTube? Talk about a scandal that the school probably doesn't want to get into. So I don't know about you, but you know, the school may have your back to a certain point. But they're going to protect themselves before they protect you. And I can tell you, they don't want to play with me. Because I dance with school boards all the time. And I can tell you, most of them do not like me by the time I'm done. So, with that being said, I'm done. If you guys are done with the drama and you guys find something else to move on, but I will tell you, even being behind a paywall, you might want to watch what you say because you never know who's in that chat room. And just remember, I don't do sneaky shit behind the scenes. I come right to your face and tell you, if you don't cut it out, you're most likely going to lose your job. And that's not my fault. That would be your fault. Because I'm only going to play with you for so long. So, now that we know Bullhorn Betty's got brass balls, let's move on, okay? Let's move on. Because they've got 100 people that have been coming after me for 2 years. I'm still sitting here. That's a pretty shame. But that's not bullying, right? That's not bullying. One person having to take on 100 different people with 10 accounts each. Suing somebody is not a threat. Sorry. Now, if I were to say, I'm going to hunt you down, find you, and beat the crap out of you, yeah, that would be a threat. Me telling you that I'm coming after your job if you keep this up is not a threat because you are a government employee. And at the end of the day, our government expects you to condone yourself in a certain manner to have that government job, to have the benefits that you have, your retirement. But you have to conduct yourself like an honorable teacher as well. And what you do behind scenes and when you're off the clock definitely does affect that school. So, you know, you're playing a very dangerous game. And if you think I'm going to be sued over it, you can sue me, but there's nothing that's going to be done. And at the end of the day, you're still going to be jobless. And not only that, but now all the teachers in your community are going to know that you targeted and bullied a person. I just think you're gambling with a lot for something that's so petty and stupid. Like, just move on with your true crime stuff. From what I hear, people like your true crime stuff. They just don't like the bullying and the attacking. Because, I mean, let's face it, if you didn't come after me, I wouldn't even know who you are. So therefore, your job me sending this stuff off to the school board would not be a necessity. But if you think I'm not going to use every leverage that I have to my disposal to get this nonsense to stop, you guys are living under a rock. Because again, you haven't had to deal with me for 2 years. I am over it. So you have choices here. Your choices are move on and leave me the hell alone, or continue down this road. But I can tell you, continuing down this road is just going to get worse and worse and worse until it starts getting better. But if you don't think I'm committed to this, I don't think you know how I work. And clearly you know nothing about me. All those hours and hours of telling everybody about who I am. If you don't know to what ends I'm willing to go lawfully to get this nonsense to stop, then you don't know a damn thing about me. These are why families call me and not you. Just saying. All right, guys. So getting on with it, that was my drama, my intro coming into this, because I'm tired of all the bullying here on YouTube. And if one little person needs to be loud and make the change, then it'll be me. And I'm pretty sure that I'll have a whole group of people, a lot more than their small group, that support me. We don't care if trolls are in here. Don't care. They absolutely mean nothing to us. Their opinion, they're disgusting, vile people that like to target and bully people. So why do we pay them any attention when they're in our chat? They do not represent who we are. We're good people. They're vile. So why are we giving them the power of our thoughts? So my question would be, why do we even respond to them? Let them talk. Ignore them, because they don't exist in our world. They will never be us. And they're always going to be angry and miserable. We like to be happy. We like to be happy. We like to cover cases and do good for families. And that's what we're going to do here. Because this next case, we covered it. It was kind of a weird phenomenon how this other case came about. So what had happened is, I do research and I'm always looking for new cases to bring to you guys to discuss, because at the end of the day, this kind of work, there's no ending to it. We see it every single day. We realize that this world has crazy, unstable people in it, and we'll never get rid of crime. It'll never go away. But I'm always finding cases that I find interesting to me, the ones that, because at the end of the day, something's got to keep my attention. Okay. A lot of this stuff is hours and hours and hours of research. Okay. And if you're reading something that's putting you to sleep or something that doesn't keep your attention, how am I going to keep my audience attention on that case? So when I heard about this case related to Crystal, it was basically, they were solving a cold case, basically. I didn't hear about this case when it happened. I had literally no earthly idea who Crystal was. I had no idea who Brooks was. I didn't know the details of this case, but it caught my attention. And I think it was because we've been talking about the investigative genetic genealogy testing. And so we've been bringing up some of these cold cases that are just, it seems really weird, because all these cold cases are starting to go boom, 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 like, right? We're starting to get all these results on all these cases that have been hanging over the United States heads in these multiple states for years and decades. Well, this investigative genetic genealogy testing, like I said, is a major breakthrough in these cold cases, because now we don't need a lot of DNA. We can have mitochondrial DNA. We can take any tiny microscopic, microscopic, what is it? I don't even know what to call it. I want to say organisms, but I know that's absolutely not right. But you know what I'm talking about. Molecule, right? and get a DNA profile from that. And I just think it's so that the whole idea of it is like truly amazing. The process is amazing. The whole how they do the genealogy and building of the family tree and trying to identify who it could possibly be. Here, it's basically, believe it or not, it has a lot to do. Did I see PJ come in? Hey, PJ, a lot to do with what was I getting at? We were talking about the genetic genealogy testing. I'm sorry, I just got a little sidetracked. I'll think about it in just a second. But you know, there's been so many changes in it. We don't need as much. So even those, if the evidence was stored, and even some of this evidence wasn't even stored correctly, and they're still able to get a DNA profile from it. So it really is truly an interesting process that they go through. But we've noticed that they're starting to clear a lot of these old cases. And so I was monitoring this, and when I saw this case, I wasn't thinking anything of it, right? I just thought this was another case being covered by genetic genealogy testing. And then Regina was in here. And this is Regina's family. And we know Regina because Regina's in here a lot. She's one of our subscribers here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. And this is her family. So I actually had just found that out because I happened to be covering the case. And she's like, wait a minute, that's my family member. And so we brought her up here and she gave us some details. Well, since then, I've been monitoring the case, but we've had so many other things going on that's been distracting us that I hadn't had a chance to come back to this case. Well, you know, I'm always researching this stuff throughout the day. And I saw immediately where they, that there's been a lot of breaking news in this case. And this case went from it just being a missing person, and now they found her, and they know that now they are able to link the boyfriend, Brooks Houck, I think is how you pronounce his name, Brooks Houck. But her father was also killed in 18 months after she disappeared. He was killed in a hunting accident, or so we thought. But listen to this. They found the gun that they think killed the father. And guess what it's linked back to? The Houck family. The Houck family. This is not just Brooks doing this. This is his entire family that has been involved with this from the beginning, including his brother, which they believe is the one that executed the father, her father. This case just went from it being just a standard cold case being closed to now this being one of those. It sounds awful to say, but it is absolutely true. Clip me, beat me up, I don't care. But now this has some twists and turns, and it's becoming a much juicier story, and it's becoming a much more juicier storyline. It's sad that somebody has lost their life, but because of this DNA testing and being able to finally link Brooke, it opened this whole entire case wide open. There's multiple people that have been arrested related to the disappearance of Crystal. But before we get started on all this information, we're going to be here for a little while. I've got a lot of stuff pulled up for you. We're going to take a walk down memory lane, and we are going to get up to date on this case because it's a case we're going to monitor. This case has now just elevated itself to being a really messed up case. And I'm glad that now we have a potential of not one person's case being resolved, but two people's cases being resolved, and the people responsible for the death of those two people are looking, it looks like we're going to be having justice for both of them here in the near future. And we can't express our gratitude enough. It's a little, you know, I mean, justice comes late sometimes. The wheels of justice turn slow. And I went and reviewed this entire case, and, you know, it's really easy to sit there and point the finger, because you guys know I have no problem saying, you know, law enforcement, I back the blue, and I want them to do the absolute best that they can do. And I realize that law enforcement makes mistakes just like everybody else does. And so I'm not oblivious to that, nor do I put law enforcement on a pedestal acting like they're some kind of superhero when they're normal Joes just doing the best that they can. I understand that. Sometimes they push the envelope in some cases, and in some cases it's not. I don't disagree with it. But I don't have a problem vocalizing my thoughts on law enforcement. In this particular case, this was one that wheels of justice turn slow. There's possibility of corruption in this particular case. There is. But in the grand scheme of things, I kind of understand why it did truly take law enforcement, so long to arrest him. And it wasn't their fault. They were being hindered by anybody and everybody around Brooks Houck. They were covering his butt. They were lying to grand juries, intentionally lying to grand juries. His brother was intentionally involving himself into the case and got himself fired from the police force because of it. This goes deep. I saw a documentary about this case, and I can't remember what it was called. Yeah, I bet you there is a documentary on this case. But before we do that, we just want to take a few minutes just to give back to Layla Santanello and her friends, her family, and just to remind you guys of the families that are affected when somebody disappears and somebody's missing. And I just want to advocate for Layla. You guys know that this is a passion case of mine. It's got me sucked in, and I want to know what happened to her. And I know somebody has answers, and I know we can get those answers with the help of everybody out there. I really, truly believe. So here, I just want to take a few moments to hand it over to Jen and Layla.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Santanello, and this is my beautiful daughter, Layla. Layla has been missing since June 27th of 2023. She was last seen at the Marble Slab Creamery in East Stone Commons on Eastman Road in Kingsport, Tennessee. On June 24th, Layla's boyfriend messaged me and asked if I know if my daughter was in jail. I asked him these questions. I was very confused. I called all the jails. Because Layla's boyfriend was using her account to message me, Layla was able to see that. When she logged in later that night and saw that I was confused and worried, she reached out to me. These are the last messages I have received from my daughter. The following Monday, her boyfriend reached out again. I had spoken to my daughter a little over 24 hours prior and was waiting for a phone call from her. I had imagined that they had had some type of argument that she didn't want to discuss over text because he had access to this account, as you can see. So I was waiting for the phone call so she could explain to me what was going on. I didn't want to help him find her. I felt I was being manipulated into doing so. And quite honestly, I felt relieved because this relationship wasn't a healthy one. In the early morning hours of June 27th, Layla's father called Kingsport Police Department and reported her missing. Some of these details were actually incorrect initially because he hadn't seen her recently and didn't know that she had lost weight and changed her hair color. They had to be corrected later. It's been 3 months since the last time I had any contact with my firstborn child. My heart hurts, my head hurts, and I'm here today to ask for your support, to ask you all to share and keep sharing and spread her face and spread her story as far and as wide as we can. There are still so many people just here in town that haven't heard of her, that haven't heard that she's disappeared, that don't know she's missing 3 months later. This is the first of several timeline videos I plan on releasing. I hope everyone follows along.
There we go. Sorry about that. I had to kick the equipment, some of my equipment off because it was interfering with the internet. I fixed everything I can. I'm just going to have somebody come out here and just finish up whatever. But anyways, that's not neither here nor there. This is a very sad case with this young lady, Layla Santanello, and we want to do everything we can possibly do to advocate for her, for any information that leads to her whereabouts. Now, again, there is a $2,000 reward. We're working on getting more money to raise that reward, and hopefully we'll be able to do that with the help of all of you. We're on a dollar will do campaign for this particular case, and if you guys have a dollar will do. Anything that you can do to help this family would be greatly appreciated by everybody involved, obviously. So getting back to Crystal's case, all right? I want to turn my equipment back on, but I'm just having a problem. Sometimes it works just fine. Sometimes it doesn't, and I don't get it. But this is a case that just has a lot of, let me turn the wrong one, a lot of twists and turns. So we're going to go over the timeline. I think that first what we need to do is get everybody up to snuff on what happened in this case, because again, this case is starting to have some major twists and turns in it, and it's really starting to heat up because now it doesn't look like it's just Crystal. It looks like this family took out her own father in an effort to cover up whatever Brooks did to Crystal. It's crazy. So I'm going to go ahead and play these. These are going to have small little advertisements at the very beginning, and then it'll get to it. So I'll monitor that the best I can.
Crystal Rogers disappeared. Police make an arrest for her murder. Brooks Houck was just booked into the Nelson County Jail. He was Rogers' boyfriend at the time of her disappearance and has been the only suspect in the case. Houck is charged with murder and tampering with evidence. WLKY's Lauren Adams has been on this case from the start and joins us live from Nelson County, the courthouse there, with the very latest. Lauren?
Guys, I guess it's not my audio equipment causing. I think I'm just having some internet issues here. So I'm sorry if it's affecting you, but it's showing that my internet is completely down and I literally have nothing running on this computer. So and this is the only system working. So just bear with me. It'll probably be intermediate. That's intermittent issues. So just bear with it.
Well, good afternoon to you, Jennifer. I spoke to several family members. At this point, they tell me, really, they just need some time to process the morning's events. Keep in mind, no one had any idea this was coming. A lot of these folks woke up to a text message or a phone call that Houck had been arrested just a short time ago. Now, while they're not up for talking today, understandably, the family did want me to pass along this. They say they are extremely grateful for the continued work of investigators, everyone who's had a piece in this case over the past 8 years. Now, we do want to let you know, Jennifer, Sherry Ballard, that's Crystal's mother, she was at this courthouse earlier this morning, presumably to get a look at those court documents and learn more about this arrest. Now, indictment.
It's a little disconcerting to know that somebody that close is a suspect in a murder that's been 8 years old. Just the rumors that fly. And everybody knows about the case, from our church to the people we meet at the restaurant.
Suspect in October of that year, he denied any involvement. The case.
Oh, I just want to clarify, Jeep girl. No, there's like 4, or I'm finding out there's multiple people in jail. That was just the person that was arrested, the most recent. I dug into this case, and there's a lot going on that does not meet the eye, and we're getting to it today. You're going to be surprised, Jeep girl. There's more, a lot more.
The case has been slow to progress in recent years until the appointment of a special prosecutor earlier this year. Then in September came the announcement of the first ever arrest in that case. Do you remember that? 32-year-old Joseph Lawson charged with conspiracy to commit murder and tampering.
That Joseph Lawson is the most recent one. It's the most recent one.
With physical evidence. Many, including the family, were optimistic that was the start of some real movement. Still, news of Houck's arrest, as we mentioned, came as a shock to the family. We have learned Houck, a contractor by trade, was arrested at a subdivision where he is currently building homes. And neighbors in Copperfield tell us they were relieved to learn of that early morning arrest just a few doors down.
It's a little disconcerting to know that somebody that close is a suspect in a murder that's been 8 years old. Just the rumors that fly. And everybody knows about the case, from our church to the people we meet at the restaurants. Everybody knows about Brooks Houck, and I had no idea. I've never met the guy.
So, and it is true. We're going to find in this timeline that I've got up for you guys, we're going to find out that not only did everybody knew, law enforcement knew. They just didn't have, according to this, they didn't have, the evidence. I truly believe there was somebody in bed with one of their family members. It sounds like they're a well-to-do family in this area. I could be inaccurate on that statement, but from what I'm seeing, it seems like they did have some type of, they had the farm, they had some type of money in their home, in their family. And I think they leveraged that because this entire family is corrupt as hell. And they covered, every one of them, even his brother was a police officer and put his neck on the line and lost his job to help his brother. And now we're finding out it's possible that that same cop may have taken out Crystal's father, potentially. It could have been Brooks, rather. I'm not sure. But it says there's been a major break in the 8-year-old cold case out of Bardstown, Kentucky. In 2015, a mother of five, Crystal Rogers, disappeared under mysterious circumstances. And if you guys don't remember, this all happened on the July 4th weekend of 2015. So when I think of July 4th, I think of, especially with adult parties, alcohol. So I keep wondering if this is the kind of guy that changes when he's drunk. And we know that there are people that go out and get intoxicated and they just become a different person. So could this have happened in something that transpired on the 4th? Obviously had to have led to her murder, because she was murdered. Her body was found. So in 2015, on July 3rd, that was the last time anybody saw Crystal Rogers. And she was the girlfriend of Brooks Houck. And Houck told investigators that they were at his family's farm together with their son. They left together, and he said he woke up the next day and she was just gone. No, she hasn't been found. I thought there was let's just keep reading, because I could have sworn they found her in a wooded area because they identified her. Hold on. I'll read through the timeline, but I could have sworn there was something that they had found, because again, I read through. If you look at my tabs, like I've got 15 tabs open here, but we'll read through it. So it says right here, July 5th, Sherry Ballard, Rogers' mother, reported her missing. That was on July 5th, 2015. In October, Nelson County state that Brooks Houck is the suspect. He's the main suspect. Nick Houck is fired from. So let me clarify that for all the people out there. According to Jeep Girl, she has not been found. So I want to make sure that that's clarified. I will read this and we will get it verbatim. But Jeep Girl, there you go. I hopefully that's satisfying for you. Okay, so maybe I can get back to this. So Nelson County Sheriff states Brooks Houck is a suspect. Brooks' brother Nick is fired from Bardstown's police department for interfering with a criminal investigation into the case. December, Danny Singleton, who worked for Brooks and his family with him, was arrested on 30 counts of perjury and lying. So the very first person arrested in 2015 was Danny Singleton. That was number one, and we're going to talk about Danny Singleton. So that would be the first person that is in here, and he was arrested in 2015. So 2016, May, Brooks Houck's grandmother, Anna Whiteside, invokes the Fifth Amendment when subpoenaed to testify before the grand jury. So they're not answering any information before the grand jury. She hasn't been found. Sounds like they are pretty darn close. Yeah, because it sounds like what happened to her is they're not I don't think it's like they buried a body. It sounds like there's something more involved here with all these people's hands in it, because again, that was one. And then his grandmother pleads the fifth on the stand, so she wouldn't even testify for him or against him. Yeah, the whole damn family's involved. The whole family. August, a search warrant is served on Nick Houck Whiteside home. Now remember, Nick is Brooks' brother. Pulliam Avenue. Days later, another search warrant is executed at Whiteside's home and garage, as well as the home of Nick Houck. A little more than a week after the search warrant was executed on the farm of Rosemary Houck, Brooks Houck's mother, and we even have some of that content on here as well. It's not really anything really interesting, but you can see the amount of effort that they had at this farm.
I had this 10-step routine, but my frizz was still out to here. Then I took the pose quiz and input all my...
There it is. That's the family farm. That's scary. She disappeared on a farm where there's a lot of places that family knows where nobody would get to. I think the reason this was done was over a baby. It's possible. It's possible. He definitely wasn't, it doesn't sound like he was a good man. But look at that. They're even in the water looking. They're doing inch by inch. Inch by inch. And that was November. And in November, Roger's father, Tommy Ballard, was shot and killed while hunting with his grandson. His grandson. So he's out there trying to, have family fun with his grandson, and he's shot and killed. In 2017, another search warrant was conducted by the state police on Anna Whiteside's home. And if you remember, Anna Whiteside is Nick Houck's home. Or is Anna Whiteside? Oh, sorry. That's the grandmother. That's the grandmother of, so Anna Whiteside. So they did it in 2017. They did another search on his grandmother's home. And she was also the one that pleaded the fifth to the grand jury. In 2018, in July, Brooks was indicted on unrelated theft charges. But when he went to trial, he was acquitted of he was acquitted of the charges in 2019. In 2020, this is August of 2020, so now we're at the end of 2020, and the FBI announces it's taking over the investigation. And why is that important, and why am I emphasizing that? Because you guys know how I feel about Summer Wells and her case. And I keep telling you that we're not going to get anything done on her case until it's removed from Hawkins County. So at the beginning of this, there's no need to even respond, Sonia. We're not going to respond to anybody. If they're hate, then they just remove their comment and move on. We're not. They no longer get to dictate what goes on in our chat. So if they want to kick and scream about us blocking them, then they're just going to have to kick and scream about us blocking them. So just get the garbage out. We don't want it here. And that's all they have. They have nothing. All they have is antagonistic, angry, hate-filled comments. So we're done with it. So we don't acknowledge them anymore. They mean absolutely nothing to us. Because you know why? They're bullies and dirtbags. And we are not going to be intimidated by bullies and dirtbags anymore. That ship has sailed. We're done. So the FBI takes over this investigation in 2020. Within 3 years, we have an arrest on a case that has been cold for 5 years previously. This is why it's so important, and we have to do this. If people really want, if those creators out there really want to help Summer Wells and Summer Wells' case, here's what you need to do. You need to get together. We all need to get together. And we need to have a very strong message. And we need to start pushing TBI to take over the Summer Wells case. I guarantee if that gets handed off to TBI, this is for all the content read. If you give a damn about Summer Wells case, let's see how many people are going to actually entertain this as opposed to just talking about her, for clicks and views. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to throw you guys all under the bus. You know, I love you guys, the ones that are out there doing, you know, Don B, Smiley's World, all of you guys. If you truly want to help this case, it's time for us to start coordinating on getting TBI the entire case. Make them the investigative body. Right now, they are just a resource for Hawkins County. Hawkins County is a broke county. They cannot afford to bring this case to trial. They can't even afford to investigate it properly. If you want to know the truth about it, there's the truth. They're broke. They can't do it. You know who has money? The state of Tennessee. They got a mess of money. They got some good silos of money. So you want this case closed? It's time for us to start strategizing on how we get this case out of Hawkins County and into TBI hand. Now, I'll wait for you content creators to reach out to me because I do have a great strategy that will help if you guys really care. But I'm not going to be reaching out to you for this because you're the ones that have been running with the Summer Wells case for all this time, and nobody's looking into how to truly help this case. So if you guys really want to help this case with Summer Wells, you can reach out to bullhornbetty@gmail.com. And I will show you guys a plan that will work if you care. But I can tell you I can't do it by myself. And I'm not going to sit here and beg people to help. You guys have been running her cases. You guys have profited off her cases. We need help. If you really care about her, reach out to me. Because I'm telling you, it needs to get out of Hawkins County if we're going to do anything for Summer Wells. I digress. So in 2020, the FBI takes over this case, and the federal agents went to the home of both Brooks and Nick, as well as the family farm again. They also went to a storage unit that was previously owned by Crystal. And I want you guys to see this. It's pretty interesting because they don't tell you. It seems like they almost found something, but they won't tell us what it was. But it sounds big. And I'm interested in finding out what it means and what it is. We'll see a little commercial.
Glenn?
That's right. I'm on a hippo eating airheads.
I want to be on a hippo eating airheads. Who's with me?
I'd like a hippo.
Airheads have more fun.
That's a good
one. The FBI was back in Bardstown today in connection to the Crystal Rogers case. Today, teams were at these storage units off of Camptown Road. Family members say it is where Rogers had a unit at the time of her death. The FBI says they can't comment on what was collected or what they were looking for, but will confirm it was a joint search with the IRS. The FBI took over the investigation earlier.
I found that comment really interesting because you know what? It's leverage. You know who they just said? IRS. Okay, you've got a family with a lot of money. You need to find lawful ways to get some things. But I just found that really odd that they brought the IRS into this case. They have lots of evidence. They just need a body. Oh, yeah. For whatever reason, I think Regina, when she was on the phone, said that they never found her. I just forgot. Because, again, when they were out there, it looked like they had a heavy equipment digging up something. So, again, there you have it. In 2021, August, FBI and Nelson County Sheriff searched the property in Woodland Springs subdivision where Brooks built homes. And you know what is, as I keep reading this, I don't know how many people we bounce back and forth with all of this because I keep dovetailing back to the Summer Wells case. But you know what? Many people thought Summer Wells is inside a wall of one of the houses that her father was on. Many people believe that, or in a footer, you know? And this guy was a builder of homes. And he would have been able to know, he would have been able to orchestrate. He could have put her, he could have had nothing but the slab, you know, the slab portion just marked out with the wood. They hadn't even poured it yet because he knows this, because this is his build project. He can go to that house now, dig up a portion in there, flatten it all back out with his equipment, and have them pour concrete right over her for the entire floor. And she's gone forever until somebody tears that home down and digs up that foundation. It's possible. It's absolutely possible. It's absolutely probable. So they're saying that they went to the subdivision to see what Houck did, had where he built homes in 2022. Now we're fast forwarding to October. So you see a little bit of, like everything started happening in 2015. And then you can clearly see where it died down. Like it went to almost a screeching halt right about 2016. So 2016, we have a lot of up to 2016, lots of activity in this case, and then it kind of goes dormant. For 2017, 2018, absolutely no activity on the case in 2019. And then by 2020, we have the FBI taking over the case. By 2023, we have a whole mess of people that are arrested. So we know that Danny Singleton was arrested in this case. Well, now they're talking about the potential of arresting his brother. His brother apparently has himself into somewhat of a quagmire, and then we'll get over. Hold on, let me find this. This is the one, right? Let me find the video. I've got a video here that I wanted you guys to see, and it was of the prosecutor, but I don't remember where that specifically is because I got like 15 freaking. I tried these all in order as much as possible, but sometimes it's just hard. Is this it? Oh, we have some new content over here as well. Share this tab instead. Here's some more to get you guys up to date on what happened while I look for that other video.
Have you tried custom hair care that addresses all of your hair goals? Pros is a one-stop shop for all your hair and styling.
Agents focused their investigation on a farm connected to the family of Roger's ex-boyfriend, Brooks Houck.
And this is the latest search by the FBI for the missing mom. WLKY's Alexis Matthews has been at that scene all day. She joins us live from Bardstown with the new developments. Alexis?
For the most part, they've been working about a minute down.
Well, Jennifer, Rick, this is not the first time that the property here on Pascal Ballard Lane has been searched as it relates to Crystal Rogers' disappearance. But Rogers' mother says she's thankful that the FBI is taking another look, and she hopes it leads to some answers. On Monday, the FBI conducted a search on land owned by the family of Brooks Houck, Crystal Rogers' ex-boyfriend. Authorities named him a main suspect in Rogers' 2015 disappearance, but he was never formally charged.
Well, he's definitely formally charged now.
Rogers' mother, Sherry Ballard, hopes this go-round any clues recovered will lead to her daughter's whereabouts.
I'm just praying God is giving me the answers today or tomorrow or whenever it takes. And I'm happy that they're back on that farm. I've never felt satisfied with that farm.
The property has been searched multiple.
That is just, I'm sorry, but that's just sad. That poor woman right there lost her daughter, never found her daughter, and then her husband's gunned down while he's hunting with his grandson. That woman has been through pure hell because of the Houck family. Pure hell. Destroyed her entire family. One person, one family. It's just awful. It's sad. It really is sad. But we have, I got his interview at first. Is this the one I've been looking for? Oh, I think this is the one. All right, it's not. Oh, no, this is not it. Okay. So I do have his original interview back in the day, but here's, I think this might be it. Let me just do. Just a second. It's the most recent. It was with the prosecutor, and the prosecutor is, here it is. I think this is it. If I can find the video. Yeah, I think this might be it right here. Give it just a second to load. It's loading. This is the brother.
Don't get left out in the cold. Fall into a great deal at John Jones Auto Group. With the largest inventory in Southern Indiana, we've got what you're looking for. You see so many because they paid so little.
Who is Nick Houck, and what does he know about some of the most high-profile murders in Bardstown?
The special prosecutor in the murder of Crystal Rogers dropped a bombshell in court yesterday, revealing Nick Houck, the brother of the man charged in Rogers' murder, is being investigated for the murder of her father, Tommy Ballard.
We are waiting for testing to come back on the firearm we believe was used to murder Tommy Ballard, a firearm that we purchased from Nicholas Houck, who was using a fake name when he sold the rifle.
Brooks Houck is now in jail charged with murdering Crystal Rogers. Shortly after the mother of 5 disappeared, his brother Nick was fired from the Bardstown Police Department for interfering with the investigation. We have been digging.
The whole family. Let's reiterate that. The entire family. And these people, I do believe, I think they had some connections or somebody helping them of maybe a higher political person. I don't know why I have that feeling, but this went on entirely too long. And there was a lot of shenanigans. And I don't believe this family was capable of coming up with all of these plays and moves to protect Brooks.
Digging deeper through old police interviews. In one of them, Nick explodes when an investigator told him he failed a lie detector test surrounding the disappearance of Crystal Rogers.
Because you're telling me I'm lying and I know I'm not. I know the truth, you know? And I'm being 100% honest with you, the grand jury, and everybody else I've spoken with.
Here's what I'm getting. Well, you just said
Yes, I have.
No, you haven't.
I most definitely have. And if you don't want to believe it, that's your issue. It's not mine.
It's not just me. I showed you.
Dude, I don't give a damn what your computer said. Okay?
Just before this heated exchange, Nick Houck sat calmly in his unbuttoned Bardstown police uniform as he's told he did not pass a lie detector test. Some of the questions: do you know where Crystal is right now? And are you hiding any information about what happened to Crystal?
You didn't tell me the truth on both of those questions. And it's no longer a matter of wondering, do you know anything about what happened? We're past that now. I'm no longer asking you if you know. You do.
Nick Houck sat in silence. The official then opens his computer to show Nick the results of his polygraph.
Section indicated 100%.
Wow. The examiner also asked Nick about the phone call he made to Brooks
Can I get this? Sure.
while he was being questioned by a detective.
I know you told me innocent people have got jammed up, but if you're telling me to leave, I'll get up and leave.
And he asked Nick, as a police officer, why he wasn't more involved with helping find Crystal.
Listen, they come up with all these lies about, well, there's bodily fluid in your car, there's blood. There is no way in hell there is any blood in that car. I'm just telling you, I didn't do it. I don't know nothing about it. I don't know anything about it. My brother, and I can tell you, I know him well enough, he didn't do it.
You ask him, what can I do?
There's nothing we can do, you know?
She's just gone.
I mean, hopefully, like I said, she'll show up any minute. And if not, obviously you guys are going to find her at some point. Find out how she was killed. Is there evidence under her fingernails? All this stuff. And it's not going to point toward him or me.
Who would it point to?
Well, how the hell would I know that?
That's what I'm asking you.
Now, this interview happened shortly after Crystal Rogers disappeared. At this point, Nick Houck is not facing any charges.
And that very well may change because, again, Nick is now under fire because the prosecution, let me find that video. The prosecution says that somebody in the family's got the weapon that was most likely the murder weapon for Tommy. Any minute. Yeah, I know, right? She doesn't call her mom. She doesn't call her family. She doesn't call her children. But this family seems so unconcerned about her disappearance from 5 children. Totally unconcerned about the disappearance of her from 5 children. Like, I really just can't. Where? Oh, I did have it up. I just didn't realize I had it up. Oh, there it is. This must be it. Continue. I'm gonna close. I think this is it. And this is not the video. I want the video. No, that's not it. Give me just a second. I'm still looking for the right video, but I wanted you guys to hear what the prosecutor said. Let me go to videos. Here it is. I think this is it. This might be it. Everything's running slow.
And right now, tonight at 4, the murder mysteries in Bardstown are becoming clearer with each different court appearance. Breaking news from the arraignment of Brooks Houck this afternoon in Nelson County. Houck appearing via live video for his first court appearance in the murder of Crystal Rogers. And then the surprise no one saw coming. Prosecutors dropping a major bombshell in this case, which has been full of them. Key evidence in the murder of Crystal's father, Tommy Ballard. Our coverage begins right now at 4. Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm Doug Proffitt. The courtroom packed with family members stunned to learn that prosecutors have the gun they believe was used to kill Tommy Ballard, who was actively leading the search for his daughter. WHS 11 Shay McAllister and chief photojournalist Philip Merle are in Bardstown right now. And Shay, everyone was there to learn if Houck's $10 million bond would hold up. So how did this news about Tommy Ballard come out today?
Oh, Doug, well, when you think about a courtroom hearing here, there's a lot of things you expect to happen, and especially in an arraignment, and those things did happen. We talked about the bond reduction. They talked about the thousands, literally thousands of pages of evidence in the case. They also talked about a possible move of venue later on for trial. Here's what we didn't expect. A bombshell in another unsolved Bardstown case. The prosecutor telling us not only are they investigating Tommy Ballard's death, they think they know who was responsible. In front of a packed courtroom, another shocker in the small-town murder mystery that just keeps twisting and turning. For the first time, we hear who investigators believe killed Tommy Ballard. Special Prosecutor Shane Young saying they are currently testing a gun that belonged to Nick Houck.
We're investigating the murder of Tommy Ballard that could potentially be related to this case.
Could potentially be related.
We are waiting for testing to come back on the firearm we believe was used to murder Tommy Ballard, a firearm that we purchased from Nicholas Houck, who was using a fake name when he sold the rifle.
Did you guys hear that? You know who he said that they purchased that gun from? Nick Houck. Brooks' brother, the policeman. Yeah, the policeman. They purchased this gun that they believe killed Crystal's dad from the brother of the murderer of Crystal. So now we have two brothers that are probably going to go down, one for killing the daughter and one for killing the father. Unless Brooks took the gun and did it himself. I don't know. I think this whole family's crazy. Yep, Stacey? Yep.
The prosecutor going into detail about why he believes it will be a match.
We know it's the same caliber. There's 5 criteria that they're looking at, and so far it's matched 4 of the 5 criteria.
In the front row of the courtroom, the Ballard family looked stunned, Sherry's eyes filling with tears. It was a moment this family has been waiting for.
That feel real good. We thought it all along, but after Prosecutor Shane made that statement, we feel a whole lot better, and I think it won't be too long.
He thinks Nick Houck could be the next arrest, but he and Brooks weren't the only ones from the Houck family mentioned in the courtroom. Prosecutor Shane Young accused the family of violating Kentucky law by secretly recording grand jury proceedings.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you, we haven't even got over the grand jury proceedings, but don't tell me this lady right here doesn't look like she's an evil woman. You can see her mannerism in there thinking she's holier than thou. Baby, you're going down too, I hope. What that family has done to the Rogers family is despicable. Look at that face. She don't give a rat's ass about nobody. Maybe you should come over here and say hi to Bullhorn Betty, baby.
By secretly recording grand jury proceedings.
The defendant's sister, Rhonda McElvoy Houck, brother Nicholas Houck, mother Rosemary Houck, brother-in-law Alex McElvoy, and Rosemary Houck's live-in boyfriend Larry Mott, all recorded, secretly brought in recorders and recorded the grand jury. I've been practicing here, Your Honor, for 25 years in this state, and I've yet, ever heard of anyone recording a grand jury.
He alleged the family was trying to get their story straight, trying to solidify a lie.
It's been stated before, the truth will set you free. The problem in this matter is the truth will imprison Brooks Houck. And we're asking Your Honor to keep the bond the same.
The defense did submit a request to lower the bond. It was what we thought would be the most interesting part of court today, but it was only covered briefly. The defense wants it lowered from $10 million to $500,000. Attorney Brian Butler called the current bond oppressive.
The grand jury out of Nelson County that set this bond, I had been practicing 28 years. I had never heard of a bond even coming close to this.
And I can tell you, I've never asked.
You know, obviously his attorneys got some beef with the bond, but I think a $10 million bond with the facts of this case, excuse me, are warranted. I really truly believe that, because let's face it, this family has destroyed an entire family. What about those 5 children of Crystal's? I'm sorry. $10 million is, and in my opinion, it's too damn cheap. It's too cheap.
For a $10 million bond. This is the first multi-millionaire I've prosecuted for murder.
Young alleges Houck's construction companies, rental properties, and real estate is worth $10 million.
This is the second millionaire that I've had to, take to court. What did he say? Let's go back to that. So now we know that this family has millions of dollars. And we know, because we're true crime, that money creates a lot of problems. And we know that money is what breeds corruption. And Mommy Dearest, well, she had a hand in all this, don't you?
Prosecuted for murder.
Young alleges Houck's construction companies, rental properties, and real estate is worth $10 million, if not more. He says this bond is fair for someone who has so much to lose. Ultimately, the judge asked for more time to review the new information. He says he'll make a decision later. And as the courtroom emptied, we had some questions for Rosemary Houck, Brooks' mom. Rosemary, the special prosecutor accused you of violating Kentucky law today. What do you have to say about that?
Your son's involved in the deaths of
Did your son Nick kill Tommy Ballard?
Rogers. Anything you'd like to
Did your son kill Tommy Ballard, Miss Houck? Is there anything you'd like to say? She didn't stop to provide any answers about her.
I just want to say this, okay? We've discussed this before, right? So let me put it in a different, let me package it a little different. This woman that you see up on your screen, his mother, she's a messed up woman, okay? She's a real messed up woman, like messed up. She's allowed she is an evil woman, but listen to this. Listen to this. The reason why I say that about her is because we look at Billy Joe, right? She's got 2 kids in jail right now for murdering someone. This rich woman right here is about to have 2 children in jail for murdering someone. So I can promise you, whether you want to believe me, I'm not going to throw receipts out because I don't have them. Because I'm gonna make a bold assumption here on the Bullhorn Betty channel that this woman here is a violent, vicious woman. Because you don't breed children like that unless you raise them like that. No different than Billy Joe and her 2 heathens. Just because you're rich doesn't mean you ain't a heathen. So this woman, whatever went on behind their closed doors is some sick, twisted stuff. This rich family. And you know it's true. You know it's true because I can tell you there are 1,000 rich families, millions of rich families across this United States, and they're not in the position of this woman right now. That both of her children are involved, that some of their friends are involved, that her own mother was involved, and now their mother is involved. Murdaugh's all over again. Now you guys know why I picked up the case. It's got a lot of twists. It's got a lot of turns in it. And just when we think we know what's going on, we're hit with another bombshell. We sure are.
Her son Nick and the new accusations that he killed Tommy Ballard. But Tommy's dad had these final words.
I'm hoping he'll be the next one arrested.
In a case that continues to stun Kentucky and the nation, another bombshell comes out of court. One the Ballard family hopes is bringing them that much closer to real justice. And the next court date is set for February, right here in Nelson County. Of course, eventually it won't be here in Nelson County. The defense already told us today they do plan to ask for a change for this trial to be held in a different county so that Brooks Houck can have a fair trial. Now let's dive into that a little bit more. Everyone in the United States has the right to a fair trial. Something.
All right. So this is going to be education for the members here. She's going to break down some good information for you. I was bouncing back and forth whether to cut it off here or not, but to be honest with you, I think this is good information that you guys need to hear.
That Houck's defense team is working hard to guarantee for their own client. So what would a trial with this much media attention actually look like?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Judges have relied on 6 major ways to combat press publicity on a jury. One is a change of venue. When the defendant could ask to move the trial to a different area, it would take the trial out of Nelson County into a different county here in Kentucky. Conversely, judges could also bring a jury from another place. So the jurors would not come from Bardstown. They would go through an extensive voir dire process to see if they've heard of it or they know about the case. Juries from other areas might know less or haven't been exposed to the media coverage compared to people right here in Bardstown and Nelson County. There is still a very lengthy process to go before we reach a trial. It could be more than a year before we see Brooks on trial. In fact, today, Brian Butler, the defense attorney in this case, told the judge he doesn't think it's realistic that there will be a trial in 2024. He's already looking ahead to 2025. Well, as you know, Brooks is not the only person in this case. There is a co-defendant. His name is Joseph Lawson, and he was arrested just a couple of weeks before Brooks. A Nelson County grand jury indicted Joseph Lawson on 2 charges: conspiracy to commit murder and tampering with physical evidence. Lawson was arrested on September 8th. He was arraigned shortly thereafter. The court entered a not guilty plea on both of those charges. The bond was set at $500,000, and his next court date is October 26th. Well, taking a closer look now at this investigation, it has been 8 years in the making. It has certainly been a lot of developments, much like today. Every time there is something happening in this case, there's a twist and a turn. Let's look back now at some of those developments.
Crystal was last seen alive on July 3rd of 2015. At the time, the Nelson County Sheriff's Office was handling the case. Brooks Houck told police the couple had fed cows at the family farm and then went home together. He says the next morning she was gone. 4 months later, the sheriff at the time announced Crystal was presumed dead.
She has vanished.
And declared Houck the main suspect.
No comment. Thank you. Y'all have a good day.
The FBI.
Oh, and I also want to say that, and I want to get you guys' poll. We got about 248 people in the chat right now. We have his full interview from 2015. However, it's about an hour and a half long, maybe 2 hours. So my question to the audience, because you guys are here, do you want me to play that by itself tomorrow and us have a discussion on it tomorrow? Because this case is not going away, so we're going to be running more information on this case as we get information. But do you guys? I know you guys are going to want to hear his entire interview. Do you guys want to do it today and just stay here for a while, or do you guys want to just make that the live for tomorrow? If you guys just want to make that the live for tomorrow, put a 1, because we try to do our lives here. But what I'm worried about with starting it now is that honestly, I don't see myself being here more than another 45 or 50 minutes. So it's an hour and a half. So what will end up happening is I'll end up playing part of it today and then part of it tomorrow. And I almost feel like it will probably be better if we just did it all tomorrow. So, so what was one? Church first. Church first. Okay. So we'll do church first. Okay. So that's what we'll do. We'll make that all one video. I won't really talk anymore about this case. What we'll do is we'll just play the interview. I'm going to say that I will just play the interview through fully, one time, and then we'll go back. But I can't do it. When I hear something, I'm going to pause it and talk over it. You know it. You already know it. So I'm not even going to lie to you. Okay. We accept Bullhorn Betty for who she is, and she talks over people. And we're just going to accept her because she's comfortable in her own skin, and she owns it. She owns it. All right. She owns it. Let's be honest. She owns it. All right. So that's what we'll end up doing. We'll end up doing that tomorrow. But we're not done yet. We're going to still finish playing the rest of this, and we're going to find out more about the 3 people that are now involved in this case. That Danny or whatever his name, the first one that got arrested. We've got the brother Nick, and we have the newest arrested, the guy that they're talking about, Lawson. We've got more information on all 3 of them coming up. So we'll get through this, and then we'll still keep moving forward.
Took over Crystal's case 5 years later. They'd spend the next 2 years searching several properties from the home of Brooks' brother, former Bardstown police officer Nick Houck, and the family farm. That brings us to June 21st of this year, when a grand jury indicted 32-year-old Joseph Lawson on 2 charges: conspiracy to commit murder and tampering with physical evidence.
I will tell you, though, this. I will tell you this. I believe this man here is going to be singing like a bird because he knows he's going to be the scapegoat. He is not a wealthy man. He is clearly on substances and has some real life issues that's going on with him. Okay. But at the end of the day, do I feel like that his addiction was probably, and it doesn't matter. He's a grown man. He knows right from wrong. There's a lot of people out there that are on substances that don't get themselves involved in murders. So at the end of the day, I don't feel bad for that. This man needs to be behind bars for his part. What I am saying is I guarantee he's smart enough to know that if he doesn't come clean to law enforcement, the rich white guy, right, is going to walk all over him. So I truly believe they're turning this man here, this Lawson guy, into their star witness. If they have not already, he will be the star witness. He's the one that they have the most leverage on. He's the one that has the addiction problems. So they're going to be able to break him very, very quickly. He's not going to be able to stay strong too long. Okay. It's part of it. Unfortunately, it is what it is.
His attorney confirmed it was in connection to the Crystal Rogers case. And finally, the arrest of Brooks Houck, now charged with murder and tampering with evidence on a $10 million cash bond.
Eric King and I just sat down this week to answer some of your common questions about the Crystal Rogers case, the other Bardstown murders, and what it's been like to work this investigation for the last 8 years. If you're interested, you can find that conversation. It's 20 minutes long.
Oh my gosh, I just thought about something. I don't know why I didn't think about this before. Holy crap. They had 2 other people's face up there. Now, granted, those other murders in Bardstown may not be related to the Houck family. But if they are so callous that they can take a mother of 5 out, and then her father that's actively leading the investigation into her, which he believed at the time she was murdered. This family believed that. They knew something wasn't right immediately. They didn't think she ran off. They knew that he did something to her. But it comes back, if a family can be this callous and have absolutely no consideration for human life, how many other rivals or people that pissed them off have just disappeared? It seems awfully easy for them to have handled this stuff in 2015, but once you have that taste and you know that you have that power, it's hard to check that power. So you're talking about people that are most likely very volatile. They lose their temper and fly off the handle very quickly. All of them, even mom, even that evil witch lady that was sitting in there with her 2 sons But it makes me wonder, because if you can do this to them and you love them, can you imagine what they would somebody that they could care less about and that just ticked them off? How many unsolved murders? I want to know about Nick. What cases was he investigating? Were any of those investigations something that was linked to his friends or family? He was obviously obstructing justice in his brother's case. How many other cases was he doing favors for friends? We have to ask these questions now. We didn't have to ask them before, but now new information is presented itself, and now we have to.
It's on the WHAS 11 YouTube page. Doug?
Well, Shay, we've got a lot of questions to go over right here at 4 o'clock. Let's go back to the $10 million bond. Do we have
The question is, Jeep Girl, did he have any connection with this? Like now anything in Bart's town, I think, Jeep Girl, you're going to have to start asking yourself, did they have a connection with this family? Because from what I see in this small town, the only people that appear to be capable of some type of heinousness like this, now I'm painting with a broad brush, I realize that, but so far in your town, it seems like this is the only family that is a family of murderers. So, unless you have another creepy family like this, I would start looking at all those unsolved cases. Hell, to be honest with you, I would be looking at all the solved cases as well, because this family looks pretty clever. And God knows what, obviously they're willing to go to the ends of the earth and lose everything that they have to protect one of their own, including their own personal freedom. He was a police officer who they believe was getting close to the case being involved. Yeah. That's what I'm hearing.
Decision from the judge yet on that? I know the arguments were pretty strong from Brian Butler to lower it. Can you go over those again?
Absolutely. Okay, so here was the main case on both sides. Brian Butler said in all of his years of defense work and all of the clients that he has had and that he hasn't represented, he has never seen a bond at $10 million. He said at most 1 million or 3 million, never 10 million. He said that this would kill Brooks Houck's business. This would leave his son without a father. And that if he were...
Well, you know what? With that whole thing, leaving his son without a father, let me tell you, Brooks, you left him without a mother. You didn't give a damn about him with his own mother, his nurturing mother, the one that gave birth to him. You didn't mind taking her out of her misery, and you want us to worry about your finances? Absolutely not. 2 people dead. And your family is connected to both of them. Like even Mommy Dearest needs to lose everything she has. Wonder what she would do if she saw me outside of her farm. Don't worry, guys. If I go outside of that farm, I promise you, I'll have SWAT gear on. Okay, I'll have the helmet and everything. So even if they shoot, it'll deflect. Okay, we know what we're getting involved in when we go to Kentucky to deal with the Houck family. We know we must be in battle gear because they are so vicious and vile that they could take a shot at me. I need to be prepared for that. If any family out there on this earth that would take a shot at Bullhorn Betty with an actual gun, not one of those little flare guns like Don Wells, it would probably be this family. That's how evil they are. Because all they would want to do is shut me up. It wouldn't be that I'm lying, because they don't care. They have too much money. They don't care about that. So if I feared any family, would it stop me? Of course not, because I'm not going to be intimidated. But out of all the families that I deal with, I can tell you Billy Joe and Leilani were cakewalk compared to this family. I can look at this family and see how dangerous they are. I seriously can. The entire family. Like at least Billy Joe, at least hers was because of her own bad behavior and addiction and doing horrible things and subjecting her children to those horrible things, which screwed her kids up. This is different. This is an evil woman teaching her children to be evil. That's how I feel about the Houck family. The family is rotten to its core. And you know how we feel over here about rich, corrupt families. We don't like them too much. They're not part of the cool kids. You can have millions and millions of dollars and you still won't have what it takes to get into this group.
For truly to stay in jail until trial on a $10 million bond, it would be very detrimental to his defense. He wouldn't be able to work with the attorneys the way Brian Butler wants him to. On the other side, Shane Young, the prosecutor, said it was $10 million for a reason. He said he too has never imposed a $10 million bond, but Brooks Houck has a lot of assets. 3 different companies, more than 70 rental properties, huge real estate sales just in recent years. He said for Brooks Houck, $500,000 is chump change. It's nothing. He would most certainly get out. The judge did want time to review all of this. Multiple documents were handed over today. So the judge said he's going to read through all of that. He will write a written order. He will submit it online. That's where we'll find out about that bond.
Okay, so no decision at this.
So I will tell you, just in my experience, and I don't know if this is going to be the case here, you know, the judge may look at the facts of this case and say, I'm not willing to waiver from the $10 million. So that could happen. But what I think may happen in the alternative, I think he may reduce it. I don't think he's going to reduce it down to $1 or $2 million. But if this is the largest in its history, and that community's history, they do have justification for it because, again, they want to make sure that he sticks around. And because of his family's wealth, that is a grave concern now that this guy is caught. And now he's going to have to face the music of what he did 8 years ago. Remember, he's been living as if he was never caught and he got away with it. Well, now reality is sinking in for him and his family. He does have the assets. He does have the family name. He does have the influence, and he could potentially go on the run. So I understand the importance of the prosecution saying, wait a minute, we want to make sure we tie up his money. So if he's going to be out, he's going to lose everything if he goes on the run. He's not going to have access to crap. So I understand that. But, that's the judge has to weigh what is the most appropriate, what is fair. And fair is subjective to whomever is ruling over the matter. Fair to me, $10 million seems fair to me. But it may not seem fair to the judge. And the judge may say, you know what, I get it. And we want to make sure that he is crippled if he decides not to show up to court. But I want to reduce this to, say, a $5 million bond. He most likely would be out with a $5 million bond because he's got enough assets to cover it. So I really don't know how the judge, this is the first time I've seen the judge. I have not seen any of his rulings or his behaviors yet. So I can't identify, what his most likely rulings will be, because people have styles. They once you figure out how they interpret the laws, then you have a little more ability to have more meaningful discussion with that judge. They all know this judge. I do not. So I have no earthly idea how this judge typically rules. It'll be something I'll have to look into just to get a guide. But I think it'll be based on this. But I don't know. If 10 million is the highest in that community, if the judge chooses to keep that $10 million, I think the judge is making a very strong signal that he's not going to be dealing with any shenanigans in his court, just my opinion. But I think that the $10 million is fair, but that doesn't mean that the judge will.
Hour as we speak, but of course, I know the question you've been asking, the one everybody up here still wants to know, Nick Houck. He was really named in this as a possible in connection with this today, but he remains a free man as we speak tonight.
It's a truly stunning development. You don't typically hear investigators, prosecutors mention main suspects before they make an arrest. It was shocking 8 years ago when the Nelson County Sheriff at the time called Brooks Houck the main suspect in the case. Today, the prosecutor didn't use the word suspect, but he certainly hinted at a person of interest in Tommy Ballard's murder by saying that he had they had purchased this gun from him. They were testing it, and they believed it was used in that case. That was not something we were expecting, Doug. That was a huge bombshell today.
So there you guys go. Huge bombshell. Let me pause this before it starts quacking. So again, now you guys are starting to get an understanding why this case is so interesting to me. Like, this case it's a small case that a lot of people aren't paying attention to, that didn't get a whole lot of, I mean, it got some good significant media attention in 2015, but it didn't really go anywhere. You know, it just didn't. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. God bless you. Yeah, I will. And you know what? This brings me back to the next thing. You know, if you guys do, see things going on YouTube, you're going to have to come to a place inside of each and every one of you. What are your values? If something's not voting with your values, if you're going on a channel and you're rolling your eyes because you can't stand the foul language and other things that are going on, you guys have so much control to stop a lot of the shenanigans going on here on YouTube if you guys would like to. And my first suggestion is if you see somebody bullying another person, you realize that is against your values, and you unsubscribe from them. Because something I did 10 months ago, I should not be subjected to bullying when people are doing stuff yesterday and being able to get a free pass on. Like, I think you guys have made your point for the last 2 years. It's time to move on. Hopefully you do. Hopefully you guys get a clue. But if you don't, I hope you guys got a lot of GoFundMes, because you're going to need them. That's all I'm saying. Getting on to this. There was a call. Oh yeah. And he received, did we go over that? How he received the call from his brother, and it's an hour and 58 minutes. So it's almost 2 hours. So tomorrow, the whole entire channel is going to be pretty much consumed by this interview. But I promise you, I will not end the live until we get through the entire interview, because the whole purpose of us pushing it off to tomorrow is so we don't stop it in the middle of it and have to pick up tomorrow. So when we come in here tomorrow after church, we're going to go through the entire 2-hour interview, and then we're going to still have a discussion on top of that. So if you guys don't really have a whole lot going on Sunday, come hang out with me all day. What time is live? Well, church is usually over around 10:30, 10:40. So by the time, I get situated, get fresh coffee and stuff. So you're looking probably around noon, or 1 o'clock, somewhere like that. Please wait until after 12. Yeah, I will be. So we'll do that afternoon tomorrow. And we're going to, like I said, it's going to be more than a 2-hour live. We're probably going to be hitting closer to a 3-hour live tomorrow, because this is going to be an hour or 2 hours long, and we're going to go through it. So be prepared for that, guys. I want to tell you all, thank you. I go to late service. Oh, well, we do online service here. So just to let you know, and other people, I know we have some new people here. We go to an online church every Sunday as a group. So you're more than welcome. You can go to your own church, obviously. We don't want to take anybody out of their churches. But I found for myself that, I don't have time I'm always working. But it doesn't mean that I don't want the Word of God. And it doesn't mean I don't want to be in church and don't want to pray. And then I realized, I never thought about it before, but it was something that one of my subscribers had said to me in one of the comments. And it dawned on me that I had people that have, mobility issues and bedridden that watch this show. They don't get an opportunity to go to church or to get the gospel or hang out with friends at church. And so that's when I decided that maybe it was a good time to, do something as a group related to church. We put God first for the show. There's people out there that need God, and they want to be around their friends when they go to church. So it just became this very natural phenomenon that happened that brought us all to an online church called Countryside Christian Church. And so we have, and we also support other channels. Like we have Turkey Man. We all know Turkey Man's a preacher at a church in Tennessee. Very nice, loving So we always try to post his services there. We have our services from Countryside Christian Church. We're even considering potentially having like a small group, to do something, one day or every other, either once a week or every other week, where we can all have a small group and have these types of discussions. So if it's something that you're interested in and you don't want to be alone and you want to get back into church, with you haven't been to church in a while. Maybe, things in your life haven't gone well and you curse God and just angry with him. I was too. And many of the people that join me over in church have a lot of the same story. We identify with that. There's no judgment there. But if you guys would like to, make it a day. Tomorrow's our day. So we go to church. We're there about 9:30. We get out about 10:30, 10:40. And then we have a little break, get some food, whatever. And then we'll come live and we'll go over this interview. So I hope you guys all come. And yes, Countryside Christian Church. Yep, that's it. And hopefully we will, and I'll post it. But yeah, it should be Countryside Christian Church, and they do have 2 services. So even if Deb wakes up late, you'll be able to get that 11 o'clock service. So even if you don't get to hang out with us and the Bullhorn Betty and the coffee club in church in the early morning, they still have a great second service that I know you guys will enjoy and love. So hopefully you guys get over there, and tomorrow we'll have church, and then we'll have church and crime, right? And guess what? I might just warm up some of my beef stew. Okay. I got to be honest with you. It was good. It was good. And I love the not so fake biscuits. I think I found a happy medium between fake biscuits and not so fake biscuits. Okay. So, because we don't go by, cups and teaspoons and tablespoons. We go for a pinch of this, a splash of that, a dash of this, a dollop of that. That's how we cook in the Bullhorn Betty kitchen. Okay. It is. It's how we cook in the Bullhorn Betty kitchen. So, you guys know I love fresh biscuits. Like, fresh biscuits are one of the simplest things.
Betterment is the investing platform that helps you be invested in whatever you care about. Be invested in big bike dreams or even bigger bike dreams.
It just pops up every now and again. But you guys know I love fresh biscuits. Well, a lot of people don't like cooking like that. They like simple stuff. So I've been trying to do like the main staple, like the actual meat. I'll do that a little different, but then I'll make some simple sides to go with that. So you're not stuck in the kitchen. Now, it's not the way I cook, but it's what works, right? So I came across biscuits. I wanted biscuits for something. And so I'm like, okay, what's going to be the easiest thing? So the natural thing I did is I grabbed a can of biscuits, the stuff that goes in your refrigerator. You crack on the freaking counter and you twist it and pull all the dough out of it, right? And I'm looking at it, I'm like, this looks gross. Sorry. So I'm like, okay. So they cooked, and I'm like, okay, they're not that bad. Of course, everybody's had canned biscuits before. Not a big deal. And so I'm like, well, I really don't like them. I look at them. They're just filled with chemicals. I don't like them. And so I'm like, okay, what else can I cook? I wanted something that's a simple biscuit that tastes really good, that doesn't taste like a freaking canned biscuit. Okay? I'm sorry. Canned biscuits taste like canned biscuits. And I came across frozen biscuits. And I actually think that the frozen biscuits, honestly, I think are a winner. As far as, not having as much chemicals and preservatives, and it still does have chemicals and stuff and stabilizers and stuff in it. You're not getting away from that if you're buying groceries from a grocery store, okay? You're just not. It's in our meat. It's in our vegetables. It's in everything. It's just, I don't even want to get into the conversation. But I like the frozen biscuits. So if you guys want my honest opinion, I really think that the frozen biscuits are they're not that much more. I mean, this day and age, you're paying. Like, I went to the grocery store. Do you know that that can of biscuits cost me like $2.99? It was the same. It was almost literally the same price for frozen biscuits. And I'm telling you, the frozen, and I got the Pillsbury Grand's frozen biscuits, and I did the Grand's biscuits. I don't like the Grand's canned biscuits. I'm telling you that the Pillsbury frozen biscuits, that was really good. Or maybe it's Grand's. Hold on, let me see what I got. Hold on. All right, I'm going to show you guys. Here you go. Okay, so this is what I got. This is the frozen biscuits. I'm telling you, I'm not going back to canned biscuits. If I don't want to make the biscuits myself and roll them out myself, I'm probably going to do frozen biscuits from this point forward. So that's what they are. There they are, right there, Grands. Pillsbury Grands. Look at this. You ain't getting this kind of biscuit. You're not getting that kind of biscuit out of can. Look at that. That is a beautiful biscuit. Right? Beautiful biscuit. You ain't getting that. You ain't getting that out of a can from a canned biscuit. This right here looks more like a hand rolled biscuit than it does a canned biscuit, and there is a difference. There is a difference. So if you guys want my review, I'm still gonna, the real biscuits, I'm sorry, I'm just not getting rid of real biscuits, okay? I'm not doing it, all right? But I love real biscuits. But if you want a better than canned biscuit, Bullhorn Betty definitely recommends the frozen biscuits as opposed to canned biscuits. And that's why. You can see the difference. You can literally see the difference in the biscuit, and I promise you, you can taste the difference when you eat it. All right. So out of everybody, okay, with a show of ones, how many people did I turn away from canned biscuits and into frozen biscuits? Put a 1 in the chat if you are now a believer in frozen biscuits because of the review I did. I need to stop. I bet I never enjoyed this. Oh yes. It's yeah. Now we know what a content or a social media influencer is all about, right? So we influenced 1, 2, 3. We influenced 4 people, 5 people. We have influenced 5 people to ditch the can and go for frozen. All right, guys, go out and get your biscuits, your frozen biscuits. Try it. I swear to God, call me and let me know. I want you guys to do this. Literally, take $10, go to your wallet, get $10 out. Guys, what's going to cost to get these? $10, because food's expensive this day and age. And I want you to spend $5 on a can of biscuits and $5 on frozen biscuits. And I want you to cook them. And I want you to eat one side by side and tell me which one you like the best. All right, guys, I'm done. Have a great day. God bless. Go make your day wonderful. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, be safe and kind to one another.